Hello, everybody, and welcome to our live stream. It's called A Green World is Possible. It's an online candidate forum, and I'm so pleased to be here with 12 amazing candidates right now that are running for office around the country. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them all introduce themselves to save time. And after they run through their introductions, we're going to have a little discussion about running for office as a Green in this country.
Thank you, James.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm really happy to be here as well. I'm from New Jersey, as is Craig. So we've campaigned together and worked together on a lot of things. I'm running for U.S. Senate in New Jersey. I ran 2 years ago against Senator Menendez and came in third out of the highest vote getter of the alternative political parties. I got over 25,000 votes. And so, encouraged by that, I decided to run again. I also, before that, I ran in 1996 with Ralph Nader. I was his vice presidential running mate in New Jersey. So it's been 20 plus years of, with a break in between, but more than 20 years being associated with the Greens. And I find it a really good place to campaign from because I don't have to check what I want to say at the door. I don't take political action committee money, so I'm not getting money from the pharmaceutical industry like my opponent Cory Booker has. I'm not getting money from the pro-Israel lobby like my opponent Cory Booker has. I'm not beholden to the Democratic Party machine, which in New Jersey is extremely corrupt. I'm not beholden there, so I can speak about public education and not charter schools. And I'm really dedicated to ending wars and imperialism. Obviously, neither political party cares very much about those issues. Taking the money saved and putting it into education, healthcare, infrastructure, combating climate change, and so much more. And as we defund the military, we can also defund the police. It's a very big issue in New Jersey, Black Lives Matter, and the need to not have the police be the highest, largest item in the budget for local municipalities. And so I'm going to be I've been working and campaigning on that and just trying to be a voice for the movements that are already out there working. This is not a campaign about me as an individual, but a campaign to help build a strong movement across the state and country for the kinds of policies that we need and the kinds of policies that neither the Democrats nor the Republicans actually care about.
How the heck are you guys campaigning during COVID without being able to go out and talk to all your potential voters?
One of the things we've been using a lot of is live streams. We do a meet and greet every Tuesday. Unfortunately, sometimes my video quality isn't the best, but we have developed a following with that. We invite various guests from different local situations, like the Newark Water Coalition, concerned about water quality in Newark, the lead in the water. And May has been very active in bringing national attention to that issue. We've had immigrants' rights people come on to talk about closing down the ICE detention centers, especially during the time of COVID, because the prisons and the detention centers are hotbeds for COVID-19 and the spread of the virus. We've had people come on from Black Lives Matter. I have John Mubaraka is coming on this coming Tuesday because signed a pledge, the Black Alliance for Peace pledge. And so he's coming on to talk about the pledge. That's something that people asked me to do or suggested that I do 2 years ago, and I didn't really know how to do it, and it didn't feel like it didn't seem to be necessary, but it is necessary now to communicate to people via Zoom meetings, by live stream. And we also are going to be having an online fundraiser. We're going to see how this works, where a local artist is donating a mosaic that she made related to Black Lives Matter. And we have various artists, musicians coming on to donate of their time. And we'll see for about a 3-hour period with speakers and musicians, see how much money we're able to raise that way. And then we're doing this tomorrow, actually. We're taking the lawn signs that I had some left over from 2 years ago, and we're ordering more. And taking those lawn signs and going to important landmarks or locations throughout the state with a Hoffman for Senate sign and a Hawkins Walker sign for President, Vice President. And we're doing stop by stop. I'm doing a tri-county tour tomorrow, Camden County, Cumberland County, and Atlantic County in New Jersey. And with those photos, put them on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so on. So kind of trying to be creative with the time and the space and rely much more heavily on social media and the internet. But it's been a challenge. I think we have really reached out to many people that through that vehicle that we wouldn't have otherwise.
One of my biggest debates with people, as far as why the Green Party exists, it's like, we're an answer against or an alternative to the Democrats and Republicans, which we all is really much one party that's all embedded to corporate interests. But then I get challenged on things like, well, I'd vote for Greens, but they don't win congressional or Senate offices, right? And I'm like, well, last year you told us we should focus on local races, and we're running the local races. So now you're saying, no, we should be running Senate and congressional ones. And then we run Senate, congressional, and presidential ones. You said, why don't you focus on local races? So anyway, no matter what I'm getting to is, no matter what, there's always some answer on why Greens shouldn't run for office. But they're just fine with having Democrats and Republicans play their game.
I'm glad, very glad to have participated in this forum. I want to say that one of the reasons that I'm running, two of the reasons I'm running, are my longtime activism on the issue of environmental justice and freedom and combating toxic chemical pollution in New Jersey, and also my longtime activism for peace and justice. Both of those issues combine to create a really strong Green New Deal. And as we all know, Howie Hawkins was our presidential candidate, was the original architect of the eco-socialist Green New Deal. The only way we're going to get a Green New Deal that works is to confront the military-industrial complex. And as we know, both the Democrats and Republicans are very much tied entangled with the military-industrial complex. My goal is to double the amount of votes I got in 2018, and I think it's possible. One of the reasons I think it's possible is that we have a strong Yes Caucus, Young Eco-Socialist Caucus, and I want to stay strong and principled in large part for the youth, in large part so that they know that there is another option besides the Democrats and Republicans, because they are not tied to either of those parties in this Yes Caucus. They're very strong and revolutionary as well. So I would ask that people, and then the other thing is, I'm going to be issuing a couple of official campaign videos, one in English and one in Spanish. I actually had a chance to speak a little Spanish on this, to reach out to the community of Latin Americans in New Jersey. I got an endorsement from the National Latinx Caucus, because we really need to bring people who are traditionally left out of our political process right smack in the middle of it. So I would ask that people go to my website, hoffmanforsenate.com. If you want to volunteer, it's hoffmanforsenate.com/volunteer. volunteer. And if you want to donate, like Nicole is suggesting, you can go to hoffmanforsenate.com/donate. We need money for those lawn signs and we want a lawn sign every place in New Jersey, because that's going to be the strongest way of gaining visibility during these very unusual times for campaigning for us all. So thank you very much for the opportunity, James, and I enjoyed sharing the time with all of you.
Let's go into closing statements, but feel free to be a little bit more loose in them. Like, this is going to be your pitch to people to really vote for you, to let them know about your websites. What's the most important issue or item that's so important for you to get elected, and what you plan to do. Does that sound okay with you guys? All right, cool.
Yeah, I have a slightly different answer from Craig, because I am running at the statewide level and I'm running for a federal office. And, Craig has actually done a lot of research to show how New Jersey almost, always on a statewide level will vote blue. And so, our goal is to try to help support the Greens getting 5% of the vote nationally. That's the Howie Hawkins campaign, Howie Hawkins, Angela Walker campaign. For my campaign, I really feel that since 2 years ago, there were other third parties involved, like the Libertarians. This year, I'm really the only organized third party that's running. So I feel a responsibility to talk about how during this time period, we need to vote for the people who are running on the issues that matter to us, and simply just give in to the fear. And in New Jersey, as I said before, that fear isn't that large, because the state goes blue all the time. So, and then we are also pushing for ranked choice voting as a way out. Lisa Savage in Maine has a unique opportunity because she's running on ranked choice voting. She's running in a state that has ranked choice voting. So it's important, and I think some people have even, some of the progressive Democrats have endorsed me after they ran in the primaries, and they realized that the state Democratic Party or the Democratic machine is corrupt, and they came out to support me. And there was one woman in particular who said something that I'll never forget. She said, "You're an inspiration to me because you continue to act politically, be involved politically without losing your principles, without losing the ideals that you stand for." And I'm taking that to heart. Because I think especially in these COVID times, people may see things that they didn't see a year ago or 2 years ago about how the whole system is failing us in so many ways. And for more information about that, I think I'll mention my website now. It's hoffmanforsenate.com. You can check out my platform, and I feel like I have nothing to lose. Then I'm going to speak the truth about what's going on and why it's important to vote policy and values over party in 2020. Thank you.
No, thank you so much for that. Yeah, and like I said, you have nothing to lose. Speaking truth to power is so important to run when you're running as a Green. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go to Jay Ting next. Thank you so much, everyone. We're right at 10 o'clock, which is amazing for a candidate forum. But of course, since you're all Greens, that's why it ran on time. So once again, thank you so much for participating in this. This is the first of hopefully many I can do this month to help you guys all get exposure. As I said before, what I'm going to try to do is create individual edits for each of you. So you could share around if you want, and with links to your sites and all that kind of stuff. So for now, say goodnight to everybody, and good luck with all of your campaigns.
Good night.
Thanks, James.
Thank you, James. Appreciate it.
Thanks, James.
Thanks.
Bye. Thank you, James.